Good evening, campers, and welcome aboard the Starship Nightwish. I'm Commander Exorcist, and it's Tuesday night, so welcome to another Talk O Tuesday. This is my weekly show where I take the Galnet article for Elite Dangerous and kind of go through it, talk about what's going on from a lore perspective, and then sometimes talk about what's going on in the greater Elite Dangerous galaxy. I didn't do one of these last week because the Galnet article they published was beyond boring and not something I really wanted to cover, so I did a ground CZ to cover for that. But today, we are kind of back to some interesting stuff that's going on, in our little corner of the galaxy. And so, basically what's happening, and if you've watched this show for any number of episodes, you know one thing, besides the fact that I'm full of crap most of the time, I don't read these articles beforehand. I just cut and paste them into my program so that I can read them with you. So what I'm reading, it's the first time that I've read it, so we're kind of experiencing it together. However, I have heard some feedback on this one, and I think it's very interesting that Sirius Corporation is finally getting serious about the Thargoid threat and their mass abduction of human colonists. Seriously, let's get into today's article. Sirius Corporation discusses Thargoid abductions. I gotta say that it's about time. It's about time that Sirius is getting serious about this. And I promise, I'm seriously not going to go through this entire video by throwing out serious puns. Promise. Not intentionally. So, Sirius Corporation is such a huge player in the Federation and the bubble, and we don't hear much from them about the war, at least not on a Galnet level, and so it's kind of interesting that we haven't heard things from them. So we are getting kind of an inside look now into something really strange going on in the world of Sirius. And so we've got Sirius Corporation discusses Thargoid abductions. As you know, there are millions of colonists that are missing. The Thargoids have started taking prisoners of war, and they're not discriminating. They're taking military, civilians, women, children, whoever they can get, they're taking. And there's been some reports that they're being held on the Titans and possibly in, cocoons or eggs or cryogenic, whatever. I mean, there's a couple of different things that have come out. But let's take a look at this. Sirius Corporation has revealed a long-running project to rescue people who were captured by the Thargoids. Okay, so we'll stop right there. Color me skeptical that Sirius Corporation has seriously had this program going for a while. If they have, and we're just now finding out about it, and we're just now getting the opportunity to be able to contribute to that effort, this is very concerning. So, CEO Lee Young-rae made this statement during a press conference shortly after the early reports of Thargoid interceptors collecting inhabited escape pods were received. Sirius has explored several possible countermeasures. Various remote recovery methods had been designed, although only a few prototypes were ever constructed. So it seems like once the scythe appeared, and but here's the interesting thing, is that we've known that the Thargoids have been taking humans for years. We've taken some of their people or whatever you call them, and done research on them. So, it's interesting that they're just now coming up with something like this to counteract. But the scythe is actually kind of a frightening machine. And so I think and probably the news images of the pods being picked up by the Thargoids probably scared some people. So it's probably got a little seriously panicked. Now that the Thargoids are conducting widespread, systematic abductions of living humans, we believe that this research may prove crucial to saving millions of lives. Sirius Corporation is willing to bypass the commercial potential of our work and share it directly with Aegis. I have personally requested a meeting with Professor Tesro to provide details and discuss options. Wow. So, Sirius Corporation is getting seriously altruistic. They don't want to make a profit off of this. They're going to give us the technology for free. Yeah. We'll see how that goes. I doubt that. Even with the commercial aspect of it, there's probably a patent somewhere, or under, even if the, like, whatever technology they develop to help rescue humans, so let's say that they are being held in cocoons on the Titans. If they develop some kind of a weapon that helps people get onto the Titans, maybe the weapon itself is something that they're not really interested in making a profit off of, but there's got to be some underlying energy technologies, maybe something little that can be ported and transferred to other things that Sirius is probably just itching to mass produce and license and just milk out of all these other companies. So yeah, I'm sure that initially they're not too bad in terms of getting their commercial aspect of it, but we'll see how far that goes. We've got Deputy Prime Minister Angela Kokorin, who oversees the Alliance's contributions to Aegis, was invited to comment by the Old World's Gazette. The Assembly has no knowledge of this project. Hey, Angela, guess what? None of us did either. It's almost like they just made it up. Like, yeah. And I wonder if you've ever worked for like a bureaucracy of any kind, whether it's like a multinational corporation or a government of type, there's a lot of projects that enter into the planning phases, and they are so well planned and so well presented that looking out or looking in from the outside, you almost can feel that it's a real thing, that it's already been manifested. And a lot of times you get these senses that, you know, this is a big upcoming project that we've been working on for years, but a lot of times the prototype or the initial or the actual product itself can take decades to get out on the shelf. And I wonder if it's something like that, like something, you probably had like 10 dudes meeting in a conference room. Hey, we're going to talk about human recovery. And you've got Daryl over here who thinks the whole thing is stupid because they're not abducting humans. He doesn't believe it, and he thinks this is a waste of time. But Bob over here is really invested in it, and it just goes nowhere, okay? And there's Charlie down there who is doodling on a napkin, and he's the one that's actually going to come up with a legitimate plan. So way to go, Charlie. The Assembly has no knowledge of this product since it falls outside of our strategic defense pact with Sirius Corporation. My concern is whether this comes with an expectation of a reciprocal data exchange. It probably does. Li Yongrui's offer sounds like an altruistic gesture. Hey, that's what we just said. But sometimes the true price of information is unclear. And that's what I was talking about. If we're able, imagine the intelligence we can gather if we can get on a Titan. Or even just one. Let's say the humans are being held in cocoons or whatever on a Titan. If we can get a hold of one of those, imagine the intelligence that can be retrieved from something like that. It's just unreal what we can get out of it. And so, yeah, I'd see something like that coming from Sirius. I intend to discuss this with the other Aegis coordinators before any decisions are made. So that's reasonable. Aegis is currently gathering resources for an upgraded pulse wave xenoscanner. Yeah, I don't think that CG is going very well, actually, to be honest. I don't think people are I think people have had enough of delivering resources for weapons. At this point, I think a lot of people would like to see like a weapon as a mission reward. I think that'd be kind of cool. Give me something to do other than hauling equipment to somewhere from point A to point B. I think people are burned out on the hauling CG. So I don't know if we're going to get the pulse wave xenoscanner. So it may be that if the community goal fails, then Sirius may have to get serious with their altruistic gesture and just get their own materials and give it to us anyway. Which can locate captives held on Thargoid Titans. I think that's a really terrifying aspect. I think I said in a previous video, I was wondering where the humans had been taken. I can't remember if I referenced the Titans, but I don't think it was something I thought of. So The idea that the humans have been taken from their planets and are being brought to the Titans and held as prisoners, yeah, that's pretty terrifying. Because what that does is that also creates kind of an ethical conundrum when it comes to attacking the Titans. Because let's say that we develop some kind of massive Thargoid killing super weapon, one that actually works, not like what Salvation had. But what if we develop something like that? Well, now we just can't fire it at the Titans because we'd be killing millions and millions of humans in the process. So now, before we can destroy the Titans, we have to find a way to remove the human shields that essentially have been thrown in our way. And even if that's not the Thargoid intention, I think the Thargoid's intention are to use these people for other means. But what it's done is it's created some potential for collateral damage that I don't think that the superpowers are going to be willing to take on. I just don't. So there's been speculation that Sirius Corporation's research may prove useful to the anticipated next step, rescuing those abductees from their confinement. And there it is. There it is. And it may be slow rolling. There's certainly some distance in time, is I guess the way you could describe it, between what happens in as far as the war and the developments. And so as we begin to learn more about the Titans, I think that our next step is to go inside and start rescuing people. So that'll be a pretty exciting thing to do, and I'm looking forward to it. So yeah, that's it. Sirius is going the way of the altruist. They're going to give us their weapons, but they're going to want much more in return, because a corporation like Sirius, they're too strategic minded. They can take a tactical short-term loss and get a huge strategic return. And that's what they're looking for. I know it. It's just a matter of finding out what exactly that is. Who knows? Hey, everybody, thank you for joining me. These are the Holy Disciples. These are the people that help to make this content possible. If you like this content, like and subscribe, do all the fun YouTube stuff. But you can go to patreon.com/Commander Exorcist, and it supports all of my content across multiple social media channels and here on this channel. So thank you to everyone for your continued support. Thank you. And that's it. Sirius is back, and or at least getting serious about the abductions of humans. And so the claims of fake news that humans are not being abducted and that the Thargoid war isn't real and it's all in your mind and everything's okay, the sun is shining and the government loves you. Yeah, all of that is a lie. So the Thargoids are here. They're stealing people. They're keeping them on the Titans. We don't know what condition, but I'm going to assume, because I think it's much more horrific and kind of entices us to get a little more involved, that they're stuck in cocoons. And one can only imagine what horrific things they're going to be used for. So it's going to be up to us to rescue them. Yeah, that should be fun. However that takes, I sure hope that it's a ground invasion. Let's do it. Let's open a hangar bay and go for it. Goid to Commander on a Titan to rescue our fellow colonists. Let's freaking go. Make it happen, FDev. Make it happen, please. All right, everybody. Thank you for watching. I'm Commander Exorcist. Take care, fly safe, and I'll see you out there. Good night, everybody.